the last class, we start our chapter number 11, measurement and motion. Students, in last class, we discussed about history of transport, how we measurement and SI unit, standard measurement unit. In today's class, we will discuss about what is motion. Students, and types of motion. We have only four motion, but for first motion, translational motion is divided into two type of motion. So we will study about six type of motion. Okay, let's we begin. Students, so student, we shall start what is motion and different type of motion. So let's begin, students. Motion, when the same object is moving, it is always physical with another object. For example, when we say a vehicle is moving on a road, it is a moving aspect to a tree and the pole on the road, which are not moving. When you say that you are at rest, I am not moving. By reading a book, it is a will expect to the chair, and next when object moves its position, but expect another object change is the time next time. Example is car moving away from a building. When the car, that position aim in distance between the car and the building is very small as a car moves away from the building, position B is distance from the building increases. Another way to see is that the car moves its position will expect a building change. With the time, an object, a set of a motion F is a position with a respect to another object change. With the time, the motion, so student, there are types of motion: translation motion, rotational motion, periodic and non-periodic motion. So student, first we come on translational motion. Students, a type of motion in which all parts of an object move the same distance in a given time is called translation motion. Examples are vehicle moving on a road, a child going down in a slide, and a bird flying in the sky. Translation motion can be divided into two types: rectilinear motion and curvilinear motion. The table shown the difference between two rectilinear motion is when an object is a translation motion must in the straight line covered. In a motionless, every object of transitive motion moved along the curved path. Example for the first, in the car moving on a straight road and a train moving on a straight track. Example for the second would mean a stone thrown in the air at an angle and a car taking it a turn. Number 2, rotational motion. When object move in a bottle axis and different part of a moving by different distance in the given interval of a time, it is said to be a rotational motion. Example of the object undergoes rotational motion, the blend of the rotating fan, merry-go-round and blend of a windmill. When the rotational motion, all of its parts don't move the same distance in a given interval of time. For example, the outer portion of the blade of windmill moves much more than the quartering closer to the center. Number 3, periodic motion, a type of motion that represents itself after equal interval of time. It's called periodic motion. Examples of periodic motion is 2-4 motion of a pendulum, Earth rotating on his axis, hand of clock, blades of a rotating electric fan, and plucked string of a guitar. Number 4, non-periodic motion, a motion that doesn't repeat itself at regular interval or motion that doesn't repeat itself at all is called non-periodic motion. Example of non-periodic motion is a car moving on a road, a bird gliding across the sky, and children playing in a park. Students, everyday life would absorb more than type of motion like bird leaning and crushing the sky is translation and non-periodic motion. Rotation of earth on its axis, rotational and periodic motion. Student, that is a type of motion, okay? Students, with the topic measurement of length and motion, type of motion, we complete this chapter number 11, measurement and motion. Student, if you have any doubt, please ask me and connect me on WhatsApp.